The Magicians, Vivienne Reaper and Other Stories is a part sci-fi fantasy with pictures and color inside. The Magicians short stories are the adventures of a family of sorcerers and has some surprises. The second part, Vivienne Reaper The Mortal Coil, is about the adventures of Karen, another Grim Reaper in another underworld, and the people he meets of the way. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, a disembodied voice on the stage of a magic show said, "Abracadabra." The voice said, and the frame of a tall, handsome, black-haired man in a tux and top hat materialized. "I am Blake Fire." A brunette man in a tux and top hat walked on stage, and he is my assistant Max Starfire. Murder at the masquerade. Astra, queen of vampires, went to a masquerade. Opportunist, she was with her husband Max, the king. They danced all night, then they got people alone and they took a little drink. "I am Blake Alexander and my life is hell. I am Blake Alexander and my life is hell. It all began centuries ago, but I won't go there. I am over 2,000 years old. I am not human, obviously. I am of an alien sorcerer race, but generations were born here on Earth." Blue Midnight and the Masked Chicken. "Oh darn." Max, who was in disguise in a tux and mask, said. Blake was disguised too. He wore a mask and blue tux. Blake looked at Max confused. "Is anything wrong?" Blake asked. "Can you please take me to hell?" asked Max. "Take you to what?" Blake, king of the Grim Reapers, laughed. Blue Midnight and the Sun King. "This is exciting. Let's go fight crime." A man in a yellow chicken suit with a mask said, like they made his life. "I bear the wounds of all the battles I avoided. My parents were murdered when I was very young, around the time I became a vampire. I was raised by my uncle Lance. He was a very good father. I am a sorceress and a werewolf, a daywalker vampire, and the queen of the vampires. This is Astra Starfire, my niece. She's the wife of Max Starfire, the noted stage magician," Uncle Lance said. "We were at a crime scene. Dark side of the moon." The Grim Reaper sat drinking a cup of coffee as a man in his office peacefully until his son ran in his office. "Dad, you won't believe it, the moon has hatched," the necromancer shouted. His father choked on his coffee. "You all right, Dad?" asked Lance, worried. Vivienne Reaper, The Mortal Coil, the extended edition. "Vivienne, you will die. There are no buts about it," a skeletal man in Benedictine monk's outfit said. Said Vivienne in reply, but staring at his head. The Reaper huffed, "Stop saying but. You can't deny or bargain with me." Vivienne took a deep breath and said, "So you came for me?" Death said as sharply as a blade, "Yes. I have. You died at midnight." Vivienne sobbed slightly and said, "Midnight? It is 5 to midnight.